2022 SPARC meeting. So first thing, approval of the meeting minutes. So I motion to approve the January 27th meeting minutes.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Alright.
Brian, I think a few of you have to abstain for that one. Okay. You weren't here.
Well, he didn't.
Alright, so then the first thing on our agenda is movie selection.
Boy.
So the list is, or that book's getting passed around with available movies for this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I also, I put some down, because my concern always is how long it is. And I don't know if those, if the movies in there say the length of the movie.
We can look it up really quick.
Because looking at the sunset times, in June the sunset says 8:35, in July 8:37, August 8:06, and then September 7.
Yep.
So in June and July we'll definitely launch whatever. The little kids can see us that week. Or probably parents.
Yeah, and I've noticed people tend to leave early when the movies are running really late in the night.
Yeah.
So does anybody have any movies that they really want to show this year?
Could I actually talk to the person on our end who's gonna do all the crafts and stuff to see if she had any suggestions of good crafts we can do, and she said it might be cool to do a Christmas in July type thing where we could play a Christmas movie and then we could decorate the whole pavilion with Christmas decorations, that kind of stuff. That's one thing she suggested. And then if we could do Toy Story, that'd be sweet, especially if we already bought it, because I have 50 Forkies in my house. It's waiting to be built. So it's from last year. That was the one thing she suggested. Then we have some other stuff for any other Disney movies that we can do. So that's easy.
I like that idea.
We definitely have to do Toy Story,
Well, but
since we already bought it.
I mean, I agree, but I feel like we need to reach out to them and just double check because it's no longer on their website as an available movie.
Does it say when you buy it that it has an expiration date?
I thought it was a year.
Toy Story 4?
Yeah.
No, we should be good. We've already paid for the
Does it expire though?
use of it. No, well, the expiration is a year from when we paid for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So then maybe it's just not available for me.
Right.
Yeah.
When did we pay for it?
Last year.
Yeah,
So,
but May of
this
last
time
year?
last year?
Yeah.
Does it
I don't
expire?
think they hold us to the month.
Today?
I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
as long as we show it the following summer, I think
Oh.
we're
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, there's a couple Christmas movies in here. There's Shrek the Halls, The Muppet Christmas.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
That's a straight to DVD.
The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yes.
And 100% that one.
Arthur's Christmas.
I think a Muppet Christmas Carol is
The
pretty
best
short.
version of the Christmas Carol.
It'll
Look it up.
that'll
I'll do
go
it.
quick.
Doesn't say it on there how long those movies are.
No, not the little one. Maybe the big ones that they're advertising right now. They have the runtime, but in the back, Christmas and the
But
top
I mean, a
holiday
quick
movies.
Google
They don't.
search on the
Yeah, I'm doing it
phone
right
will
now.
tell you.
Yeah, but I think a Muppet Christmas Carol.
Hour
is pretty
25
short.
is a Muppet Christmas Carol.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, you're not gonna get much shorter than
I
that.
think-
Elf is an hour
I think
37.
we should
Elf would be good too.
try and stick to 90 minutes
What is that?
at most. We can make exceptions, but that seems to be a good
Mhm.
Yeah.
runtime for the movies.
Yeah, Elf is right on 90. Muppets are a little under 90.
Didn't we show Elf a few years back? Same thing,
think
Christmas
so,
in July
yeah.
kind of thing.
Okay.
I think it was on the list of shit.
Yeah, do we have DVD still?
I have a copy.
Was everybody good with Muppets Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, alright, sweet. So that's July.
Yay.
So I think for Toy Story 4, we should that was a longer one. I think. Yeah, that was 100 minutes. So maybe we should save that one for August or September.
I would run and schedule it early, just so
Well, keep
that
in
we
mind,
can
September is the one where you're gonna show a band.
Oh, Jana had a good idea.
That could be sing.
School of Rock.
That's,
School
I
Rock's
want to
good
do
too.
that one.
I think School of Rock
And
with the
do the
band would be
band.
so cool.
I think
That is
that
awesome, I love that
I'm
idea.
all for School of
So
Rock.
that's
So we'll do
September.
Toy Story 4 in August.
Yeah. And the School of Rock in September.
How long is School of Rock?
Hour 50.
So that was
Okay.
actually on my list. I was thinking like teen night.
Hour
Right.
and 50?
Yeah.
So almost 2 hours?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good movie,
realize
though.
it was that long.
It moves, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll attract like a slightly older crowd.
And I know you guys usually try to do at least one movie that kind of
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to.
What month is Toy Story gonna be in?
We said August.
August.
So that leaves June and October, right?
Yeah.
Does anybody want to see this?
So for June,
Peter Rabbit 2 or Up, how long are they?
I think I'll go longer. You guys look at that one.
This is an hour 36.
Jumanji?
The original?
Space Jam is really short. Like really short.
The original or?
Yeah, the original. Under an hour and a half. I mean the new one.
I also like Space Jam. I think.
Oh, we also.
It seemed good when I was little.
I don't know if we
It
showed.
doesn't hold up as
Probably
well,
not.
but
Wait, the Lauren from church suggested maybe like cars because we could like make little box car stuff, but that's almost 2 hours long.
Mm.
Didn't we show Cars too?
Yeah, that, you might have.
Yeah.
Not since me.
What about Wall-E? I don't think we showed that one. It's 98 minutes and it's got like the eco theme. Works
Mm-hmm.
well with Parks
Yeah.
and Rec.
Yeah, that could work.
yeah, and when we saw it, it held up for adults as well as
Yeah,
kids.
Wall-E's
It
awesome.
wasn't,
Mhm.
strictly a little kids movie.
Okay. I like that one.
So that would be what, June?
Does that work for everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Wall-E.
Would you call it Wall-E?
Wally.
Okay, so then we just need our October movies.
Have you showed Hocus Pocus before?
Yeah, that was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was just a few years ago.
Was it?
There's a page that has Halloween movies.
Yeah. Jurassic Park is under Halloween.
I could have swore we had not shown that stuff.
Scoob, the new Scooby-Doo movie, I guess. Monsters Inc., Addams Family, Jaws,
I like that. Joe and I were talking about that.
Ghostbusters,
Okay.
Casper,
What about Ghostbusters?
the new Ghostbusters.
That's cute too.
Casper, the original Casper was
They do have the original Casper.
Oh, they're talking about the new one, aren't they?
Yeah.
The only
Addams
Ghostbusters
Family.
is it might be a little like when we showed Wonder Woman, like we had very low attendance because it was like
Tyler Perry's
more adult.
Boo.
Not really, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I kind of just want to
Billy.
put on a movie that I
Nothing like
don't like.
Blindside.
Oh, Nightmare.
It might just be you.
That's what Joe was talking about.
Didn't we do that one?
For Christmas. Not like The Blind Side, though. We tried.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, because that was at South Park, 4 people.
What about The Exorcist?
There you go. I'll do that.
Kids would love it.
So what? This,
Somebody said Casper. We could do Casper, or I don't know. I don't really like any of these.
What did you and Joe say?
The old Adam.
Those are the only
It's
movies.
Saw.
Saw.
Okay.
You guys decide.
Coco was also on there.
Oh yeah.
That's a really cute movie. Frankie Weenie. It's one of my personal Halloween favorites. There's a Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo movie that came out in 2020.
Like it came out in theaters.
The Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy. I vaguely remember that movie.
Is there a Muppet Halloween?
Huh?
Is there a Muppet Halloween?
Nope.
Okay.
Not on here.
What about Monsters Inc.?
Yeah, Monsters Inc. and Monsters University.
That's a cute
Yeah, those could be good options.
Monsters Inc. was a good movie. I never saw it.
I've never seen Monsters Inc.
It's
but I
cute.
think
It's
that
very
would be,
cute.
That works for me.
I can do that one. Okay.
Monsters Inc.
Uh,
Okay.
Anybody
Okay.
opposed to Monsters Inc.?
Nope.
It's good.
We do have two,
Oh, Ernest scares
three Pixar movies
Watch
though.
Ernest movies.
Is that a problem?
Is that a problem? Do we want variety?
Forgot about that one.
What's that?
We have 3 Pixar movies on our list. So
That's okay, Pixar knows how to make movies.
they do. I'm not arguing that. Okay.
Alright, who wants to reach out to Pixar and see if they can get free licensing to use their movies?
Okay, awesome. So now that we have the movie selected, I can put them on Facebook, create Facebook events for them, and I was gonna send them to Carroll County Tourism website again. We did last year.
What were they again? Can you just say them all again?
Yeah, so June is Wally.
Okay.
July is Christmas and
Muppets.
July Muppets Christmas. August is Toy Story 4. September is School of Rock, and then October Monsters.
Gotcha.
So I am like 98% sure I have a School of Rock DVD. There's no conflict with me using like personal DVD as long as we pay for the licensing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
And it works.
Yeah.
Oh, if that's the case, I literally have every single one of these movies all the time.
yay.
I've had them. I didn't know that was an option. I have 3 kids, so
Sounds good. So, Jenna, do you want me to get started with Swank, the process for these movies, and then just, have them send over the, like...
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
just in town. Okay. Okay, so then on to movie sponsorship. And so based on our conversation at the last meeting, it sounded like we were more on board with just having more sponsors as opposed to raising the price this year. And we'd be paying, since we already paid for Toy Story 4, we're paying for 4 movies this year. So if each movie is about $450, then that is 6 gold sponsorships. That would cover the cost.
How much is gold sponsorship?
$300.
We have one, Old Townsend.
Yeah, and I think I could probably get Tapsco on board.
How many have you done before? 3, 2?
3 or 4
It's varied.
usually.
Yeah.
The couple years that I've been doing
I think
it,
last
3
year
or
we did
4.
3.
Billy, what was the most you ever had?
I think typically we used to do 4 gold sponsors, and then we would get a couple silvers in there as well, kind of make up the difference. But Bex should be,
Oh yeah, Bex will be
they-
on
they're
board.
always on board.
Market Tavern might. I mentioned it to her, but I haven't followed up with details.
Yeah, the French Twist usually is on board. Last year they came in kind of late.
You could have
It's
Sykesville Station.
kind of
That's
a
what I was
matter of
thinking.
being able to get a hold of the right person at some of these places.
I can contact the French Twist.
And we have the new place down here too, next to Dandelion. The
Oh, yeah.
Dandelion and the 7.
7,
right?
5, 5, 6.
Oh, we also talked about Stratosphere, right?
Yeah.
I can contact Stratosphere.
Sweet.
I think the Firehouse Creamery.
Oh, yeah, that's another good
Be
one.
interested as well. It's like when I went into Old Town, since it wasn't you, Chris, he was like, he didn't want to even talk to me until I told him, oh, it's for the Sykesville Cinema movie thing. And then, he was like, okay. Like he thought I was just somebody in there soliciting for some random stuff. But as soon as he found out that it was the movie thing, he was like excited and wrote me a check right away. So.
Okay, so who wants to reach out to Patapsco about Sykesville Station Firehouse?
I mean, I can reach out to whoever. Yeah.
And Nick, I send you a follow with Market Tavern.
Okay.
All right. How many does that give us if
That's
we get all of
6,
them?
7, that's 8.
8.
Okay.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
That works.
What's the silver sponsorship? How much
It
is
is
that?
200, and that's for the summer, the complete summer series. So just minus the holiday movie.
So it's June, July, and August.
And September.
Oh, it is September.
Yeah, we've traditionally just done them, that was all of summer, and then
Okay.
remember, we had the Christmas event.
Right.
We would put up some sponsorship on the screen during that event while kids are waiting on Santa.
Yeah, that's right,
That was the
that's right.
difference.
Okay.
Say 200 for silver?
200 for
And I
silver.
still think if there's any opportunity, Jen, of, putting the sponsors on our website or getting them some little bit more exposure than
Absolutely.
we give them on a movie screen, if there's any chance of that.
Yeah,
That would go a
absolutely.
long way.
Yep, yep. Once we get all those names, I could certainly put something on there.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people don't seem to pay a whole ton of attention to the
Yeah.
pre-show ads.
Well, last year we put a sign on the snack shack. Should definitely want to do again this
Mm-hmm.
year.
Mhm.
Thanks to our sponsors. And then put it on our Facebook events as well.
Or we talking about getting a permanent sign,
Oh, yeah, that would be different.
snack shack too?
That would be different.
You know what I could also do, when I put them on the calendar, there's a description section. I could put movies sponsored by, and I can add them there too.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
I just thought of that.
Thanks, Jana. That was a good idea, Billy. I like that. Thank you, Jana.
And if I remember correctly, I just bring you or carry the checks?
You can bring it to me.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that, are we good then with movie sponsorship?
Oh yeah, who do they make the check out to?
Town of
Spark?
Sykesville.
Town of Sykesville.
We have a form,
Oh,
I have to update the flyer, that way we have the movies.
Okay.
but we have I thought we had a movie sponsorship form.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we do. We can update that and send it out.
Okay.
Alex, can you forward that to me so that I can print them out when I go to Old Town French Twist and
Yeah.
Stratosphere? I'll call first and see what they're comfortable with, and then I'll take the form in.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
So you're gonna do Old Town, French Twist, and Stratosphere?
Correct.
Okay.
Because I've done
I
Old
just-
Town since the beginning.
I don't wanna have like two people going to the same place. 'cause
Correct.
It'll annoy them.
What was the third one? Old Town, Stratosphere, and
French Twist for me.
do we get who's going to everybody else? Going to
Nick is doing.
I'm doing Market Tavern.
Market Tavern.
Yeah, and then Brian was gonna do Patapsco, Bex, Sykesville Station, and Firehouse.
Billy, did we have a bronze as well? Was that 100?
Single movie.
One movie. Okay. 'Cause
That's
I'm just-
75 for one movie.
75?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just wondering if, I don't know how business has gone these last year or 2 years.
Vic, you want to do the cafe too?
Which cafe? The new thing?
Dan, you want the new place?
Try.
Okay.
I don't think. Yeah, I know who runs that.
Norwoods is up for bringing, for us buying ice cream for them, from them again, to have ice cream at the movies. I've already spoken to Katie, and she said she would gladly do it.
Oh, that's cool.
What about the new music center? Don't know the name of it.
Oh.
The
Yeah.
band shop. Huh?
What are the names?
The band shop,
The band shop?
I think, or the
They
band
might
center,
have some interest.
maybe.
It's a new in town, I don't know.
Yeah.
$75 for September.
What do you mean?
September's such a,
Oh, because of the
Yeah.
band thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe get the skate shop too.
Hmm.
Okay, we should probably put a limit though.
I was just gonna say, you want to
Yeah,
communicate with each other, we don't want too many.
Yeah.
15 sponsors, because then our pre-show ads are gonna be an hour and a half.
Yeah, let's start with the, I think we'll get 76
That's a good point.
80 minutes.
I
But
like
we could
that.
also think about sponsorships for the concerts, stuff like that. If we have a lot more interest, then we feel like we can support for the movies.
I mean, my thought is just, I don't want to exclude any of the local businesses from the opportunity, but at the same time, we can't shove 5 minutes worth of ads for every business in town.
Jana, if we get sponsorships for the concert, does that mean we can pay the concert more?
Sure.
That's an interesting idea.
And how would you advertise for that? I mean, today, you're putting an ad on the screen.
Yeah, we don't.
Is
don't
it-
have a
is
screen.
Yeah, that's true.
Is
I
it
don't know.
creating
It's
a
an
Probably
a
online.
banner that sits in the stage or
The
See
something?
that?
viewers could walk around with a sign sponsored by.
We certainly could put it on Facebook too.
You know, put it on Facebook, we could put, signs up at the snack shack, and we could even like, I mean, we probably should be like announcing the bands anyway, right, before they go on, and at that time, we can say thanks to our sponsors.
And they
Like
could-
pointing at Nick.
They could do a little spoon
Oh,
thing
yeah.
and introduce the band, say who they're sponsored by.
And we started trying to do that with the movie,
Yeah,
just getting up ahead of time.
yeah.
Because then you can also tell people about like other ones.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, I don't know about making, well, I guess if we do make a sign for the movie sponsors, if we get band sponsors ahead of time, we could include them on
But it
that
needs to
same
be
sign.
separate.
But making
No.
a sign is like not a thing that we can just do every month, I wouldn't think.
I think if they're gonna sponsor the concert, it needs to be separate from the movie.
And I don't think that they have to sponsor a specific band. It could just say concerts sponsored by.
Bingo,
You just have one sign.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Mm.
And I have a connection with M5 Signs. He made our signs in the beginning, so I could reach out to him and see if this is what we wanna do.
So how do you want to do that? Do you want to start off by seeing how many movie sponsors you get? Then if you reach your quota, then you come up with a different form that says concert sponsorship and hit the rest of the folks? Or, I mean, how do you want to do that?
Yeah.
And then would we charge?
Because you definitely want to get your movies taken care of
Right.
first.
Yeah.
It's priority.
And would we sponsor one concert at a time? And what is the cost of sponsorship for a concert?
I would say the whole series.
Yeah, maybe just have one option
And how many concerts are there, Nick? 5?
so far, or planned? 4.
No.
3 with 1 possible.
3,
Up
maybe
to
4.
4.
Oh, what are you doing again?
We are
'Cause we're not
doing
July.
September 10th, September 17th.
17th is the one to be
Septem-
determined.
Yep,
And then
September
the 24th and the
24th,
1st.
October 1st.
And then the movie.
That's the 10th.
Oh, the
Movies on
10th.
top.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It depended on how many bands you could get. If we were going to do 4, 3 or 4.
Right.
So what would be a decent sponsorship to cover 3 or 4 concerts to pay them more?
To pay them more or cover our current costs? Just like as a.
I would say to pay them more.
Yeah.
Pay more.
Yeah.
I don't know, for 4 bands, how much more do we want to pay them?
We're paying what?
We're paying $200 right now.
Okay, 200.
And if the,
And we're covering that currently
Right.
from our budget.
Yeah.
What do bands normally want?
what do bands normally want?
I mean, they want thousands. Like they'll take anything, but
It's all over the
there's like
place.
4 or 5.
Some bands are like, you could just give us free snacks and we'll play, and then other bands
Oh.
are like, we need $800.
Yeah.
Like, I get emails from bands that are based out of DC, and they're like, we play at clubs all over DC, and we want to come play for you. And I'm like, I don't think you understand what we do. We can't give you $1,000 right now.
What about 200? That's,
200 for a sponsorship?
Like each sponsor would pay 200 to sponsor the whole series.
Right.
And if we got 2 or 3
If we got 4
sponsors, that would be
sponsors,
$600.
Right. That's a
On
lot.
top of whatever, right?
Yeah,
And then that would be divided up by 4 readings.
right.
I can't do that now.
What's the What's the gold sponsorship for movies?
300.
Or it could be, if he's got a couple of bands already
Yeah, that doesn't
scouted out
sound-
that are lower, you know, 1 month, or one date you could pay for a higher band. You're not necessarily spreading it out between the 4. If he's already got a couple that are okay with what we're already paying.
Yeah. But if we want more options for bands, but then I guess it depends on what we want the concert series to be. Do we want it to be a showcase for local bands, or do we want to bring in the out of town, slightly more serious professional bands? Because one option is keeping it within the community, and the other one is turning it into maybe something a little more serious.
So do serious bands bring their roadies? So we
I don't know.
could guarantee that there could be people?
That's the other thing, we have to guarantee an audience probably.
That's true.
That's the hard part.
And bands
Bringer, like a
like to
bringer
play at
show.
shows where you can drink,
That too.
so,
We can't
Can't do that.
have
Yeah.
that. So I would be comfortable. I like the local talent that we have. I think if we could get more of that, that would be cool. And even some of the local bands that play down at the station or at Beck's, if we could get them in our parks, that would be better. And maybe we could bump it up to $275 or $300 instead of $200. I think that would be a good start, at least.
What was the name of the one band that we had last year?
The one that played all the 90s stuff.
Yeah.
Here Till Sunday.
Okay, yeah, because they were.
I like them a lot.
They were awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that you would like to be able to offer each band like about 150 more on top of what they're doing, right? Is that what you
Just
said?
100 more.
100 more?
Yeah.
Okay, so then for sponsorship, then
Like a
if we get 4 sponsors, we
200
can do $100.
do $100 sponsorship.
Yeah, like that's really reasonable. That's really cheap marketing for any company. Right?
Yep. Yeah, that sounds good.
And then we
Is that
get
right?
a sign
Okay, and then
For
we'll try to
the-
get 4.
when we say
the
sign,
concerts.
what does that mean? What's a sign?
That's a very good question. I was thinking like one of the big vinyl signs that we
That costs money
have.
too.
That might cost
They're
the price of
usually
the
like
sponsor.
less than 100. They're like
they?
$75.
You know, I didn't bring the budget, but you do have a marketing line item. I think I have it.
Yeah, I don't ever use.
I can
Yeah,
check
like
that.
I know the last couple of years we haven't used all of our budget, so.
If we made actual signs that weren't specific for the sponsorships that we wanted to reuse, we have vinyl machines that we could vinyl print on them, and then when we're done for the year, we can just scratch them off and reuse it if we wanted to go that route.
Which is what M5 signs could make. To spend that kind of money on a vinyl sign that we might only be able to use for one season,
Yeah.
I don't think is very cost efficient.
But we could make a vinyl sign that doesn't have the sponsorships, just a
Right.
general one that we just update every year. I could update that. We have that stuff at church.
Right, like our logo, thank you sponsors for sponsoring the concerts, and then boom.
And then just blanks, and then we'll,
Exactly. That's what I like, and then that could
Yeah.
sit at the gazebo, it could sit at the snack shack. We could put it next to the concert sign so that they get publicity with that as well.
yeah. Yeah, we could
That's
make
what I'm thinking.
one for movies, one for,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something to give the sponsors a little bang for their buck.
Do you want me to reach out to M5 Signs with this idea and see what he can give us?
yeah.
And how many do we want?
What's the deal with the River Shack?
It's not ours
Because we
anymore.
kind of lost
What?
our space on that, I think.
What happened?
the
The
scale
PSC
house.
has it now, and it's a permanent wooden thing.
Oh, you just mean the
Riverside.
sign. You were
I
allowed to
thought
put,
the other sign went above or below.
yeah, we put a sign there still.
Last year.
Did it?
Uh-huh.
It was still there.
I thought so too.
Hard to say.
So
Yeah.
we could put one there, so maybe
Yeah.
we would need 2 or 3 signs.
Well, I'm
If we were
thinking
gonna
the
have one at
size
the
of the
snack
movie
shack.
signs and the concert signs that we put up around the town. Is that what you were thinking?
No, whatever signs are made, I'm just saying we could, whatever we decide, we could just print on them
Right.
and just take it off every year.
Right,
So we just have to intentionally make it with a lot of empty space, because we can just take care of the rest.
right.
But I didn't know if we were thinking like at the snack shack, if we hung them up near that, or that's what we're talking, okay. Yeah, so, I don't
That's
know.
what I was thinking.
Yeah, okay.
I wasn't, one of those little signs, the way people fly around there, they're not gonna be able to see that.
Yeah, we're gonna be
You're
small.
talking, okay.
I'm talking the
About
size
like
of a
the
movie
yard-
sign or a concert
the
sign.
yard-
We do like a,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
Ones
almost like a
that-
movie poster type sign that we put by the snack shack. We can
Yeah.
put one by the pavilion where the crafts are, like
Exactly,
3, I don't know.
that's what I'm thinking.
With a bunch of empty space, and then every year we can, because we can make this, if we only have 3 sponsors, we can make those sponsors big.
Right,
If we have 8 or whatever, then we can make it smaller, it could easily adjust it.
or make 2 signs.
Or, yeah.
Because that's what I'm thinking, how many signs should I ask N5 signs for? I'll get pricing
Yeah.
with our logo, thank you sponsors, and I'll see I'll ask Brian what the,
Options
what the
are for
price is and what
sizes.
our options are. Okay,
Sweet.
all right, I'll call him tomorrow.
What is our marketing budget?
I just made a note to myself, I gotta check.
Okay.
I didn't bring the budget
That's
with me
okay.
today.
We can talk about that next month, that's fine.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
plenty
Yeah,
of time.
I'm
I can find
I'm
that
just
out and
curious.
email it to you.
Okay.
It's the first time learning we had a
More
marketing
topic.
255.
Okay.
It was somewhere there.
budget. Okay, so it's not a lot.
Then, Easter minutes. First thing on the agenda. So I guess the main thing is to identify volunteers and tasks, because we only have one more SPARC meeting before the event.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm available as a volunteer.
I can do Easter.
Date's the 15th, right?
You don't have the date, I believe so.
It's normally
The
the
Friday before.
Good Friday, yeah, it's
Friday the
15th.
15th, yeah. I am not available, but I can get you people.
Shouldn't you know
And
what
we
Easter
can-
is?
I do, that's why I said the 15th.
Okay.
I knew what it was. It also changed, it's not like Christmas, it's not on the 25th every year. It
Exactly.
changes. Yeah, we'll be there.
Okay.
I'll be there, and we can, if we want to have crafts, and if you want, I know in the past we've done craft for that, and we've gotten more eggs. We've like doubled the eggs,
Okay.
so we can do that
Yeah, 'cause I
again.
know. I'm sure there'll be a huge turnout.
Yeah.
So you're dividing the area now with the little
Are we
ones?
still?
Is that what you did? You've been doing, right?
I marketed it that way in the newsletter.
Okay.
So yes.
And then the scavenger hunt.
Yeah. Okay, so who, I guess we'll have enough people there for hiding Easter eggs that morning.
And we normally start at what time? 10?
And
10.
And you're done by 10:15.
So in the email I
10:05.
sent you the documents from last year as a reference, the flyers on there, and then the rules and hints for the scavenger hunt.
yeah.
Okay. I was gonna ask, because I know the town helped with the clues. Would you guys be willing to do that again?
I guess. I thought maybe Brian had taken on, but
I can
I certainly can.
do the clues. We still have the eggs here, right?
Yeah.
Because I think I'm gonna have to make a couple more this year.
And we can go down, take a quick look and bring them up if you want. Like if you want to take them, we can go down and get them.
Yeah, and that way I can put new letters on the back and when we're not.
Now offline, but we have to come up with a new
Yeah, we got
Decide
word.
what we wanna,
Offline.
what we want the word to be, otherwise it's kind of pointless.
Yeah. Can you initiate that email to
Yeah.
figure out the?
Or I'll just pick a word.
But then I'm guessing we also want to do a prize for the scavenger hunt. Last year we did $15 we did 2 sets or whatever. So each set had $15 to the bookstore and then $25 to one of the two ice cream shops that cash.
Yeah, I bought those last year. Was it bookstore and ice cream?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's 15 for bookstore, 25 for ice cream. Does that work again this year?
Well, now we need a third. Because there's only one ice cream shop downtown now. So do we need 3 prizes or just 2?
I don't know. I'm not sure why we did 2 prizes
I don't know.
last year.
How did
I
we,
think we just do 1, right?
Was it, do we have,
a grand, I think it would be
I
nice to
think
do
it was
like
one
3.
winner, but they got all those things.
oh,
Oh, wow, nice.
Okay.
Or maybe, no, maybe it was 2.
Can I remember
I just
that?
making the little
Into
cups.
a
Remember the little
raffle.
cups with the
Yep.
stuff in it?
Yeah,
Did I make
did.
1 or 2?
They got put into a raffle, anybody who completed the
yeah.
Just maybe we
scavenger.
pulled 2 then. Because I think there were 2.
Yeah.
I'd say 2 or 3.
I remember it saying this one and this
I mean,
one.
even a
And I think he
$15.
posted the-
Yes, there was definitely 2.
Yeah.
Because I remember going to both ice cream places, and I think they got an ice cream gift certificate and a books gift certificate each
Bingo.
one.
Oh, bingo.
That's what it was.
Okay. So then what do we want to do this year?
So we can do 2, and we'll get a variety of gift cards to put in the,
Okay.
yeah. I can take care of that.
Next week.
Always makes you.
I like the idea of ice cream and a book, so.
Or like, well, we want them to have the books, but they'll probably want the ice cream more. So.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. And then I can have the eggs before the event. That's fine.
How many
It hopefully
eggs?
won't be as cold.
Yeah, how many
It
eggs
depends on
are
the
we?
word.
It's gonna depend on the.
Oh, those, I'm sorry. I was
Probably
thinking about the
around
actual
10,
Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
Never mind, I'm sorry.
Try and figure out.
Alex, do you want volunteers to come with you that morning and help hide the eggs? Because that's what the Boy Scouts did in the past.
Oh, I meant like not the eggs for the traditional hunt, but for the scavenger hunt.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Misunderstood.
But yes.
But yes, we will volunteer to help with that.
Please.
Well,
Yeah, okay.
I can, yeah, for the
How many eggs,
Easter egg.
for the Easter egg hunt, how many eggs do we normally have?
I have no idea.
It's
but
been
the
2
box is
years.
Very big.
I've never been part of the event when it was.
What was it,
traditional
Nick?
like that.
I don't, it was a very big box. I
It's
don't
like
know.
100 eggs. I
It's a
felt like the
lot.
Boy Scouts filled.
Okay.
It's
Just
at
on-
least that, right?
Say it again.
It's at least that, right?
At least.
And what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but then you brought more,
Right.
right on top of that.
We'll do that again.
Yeah.
We were overloaded with eggs at church. People were filled. And there's no like, it's fine if I mean, I was gonna have them fill it with like loose candy, like, but right?
No loose. It
Yeah,
has to
so,
be
okay.
wrapped.
So I wanna make sure when we announce it for our end.
And if you're gonna,
Yeah,
are you
yeah.
gonna do the bigger kids? Because the littler kids, it needs to be M&Ms or Hershey Kisses or Sweet Tarts. It can't be anything big
Yeah.
or chokeable.
We'll probably do bigger.
Okay, then I'll do.
So we'll just say, just make sure it's wrapped, like, well,
Yeah, it can't be loose M&Ms in an egg.
okay.
Especially
Yeah,
now.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Right, sweet. So anything else on the Easter?
I just need to know, Jana, the budget for what I can spend for candy.
Just whatever you've done in the past. I mean, I wouldn't
I
worry
can't
about
remember what I spent. I'll check.
I wouldn't worry about the dollar amount. Just get what you need.
Okay,
You know, if you're
Okay.
filling 300 eggs, then,
okay,
you know,
thank you.
we'll work with that.
Okay, thanks.
I think we put plenty of money in there for that
We
kind of
I
thing.
believe so, because candy's not cheap.
Let me know.
It's not cheap,
Especially
no.
when you buy it at Costco and you buy 400 at a time, it's not cheap.
No, I mean, those big bags are like 20 bucks a bag.
Price in advance,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they're wooden eggs, I just gotta
Okay.
put them wherever.
So you're gonna
I'll
fill
send out
eggs
an
and
email
Eric's
so
gonna
you
fill
can take a
eggs,
word
right?
For this year, because that's how it worked last year. You went around to all the parks and found the eggs and then figured out, unscrambled the letters to get the word, and then that entered you into the,
Just try to make it as clear as possible. Do not take the egg.
Yeah.
Yes.
Leave the scarecrow.
And if I remember correctly, I think I had about 35 submissions.
Oh, that's good, for the first
Yeah,
time doing it.
I remember,
People
I mean, my
trying to do
email
it.
was blowing up, like I couldn't believe how many people
Wonderful.
did it.
But we lost 3 eggs out of 35 people.
It can-
I thought you came back.
Can we put the eggs in a way where they can't just take it?
I mean, we
Can we
could
screw it
chain
onto
them
something?
to the
I don't know if we're allowed
playground
to.
equipment.
Because I also know like some people might say, please don't take it. Like I know when I was a teenager, that's asking me to take it. So like that could happen. So
Pastor.
yeah.
Well, last year when we did it, we lost 3 eggs in one park, and I ended up just putting a sign, like on the dog poop bin, saying the 2 letters for this park are H and I, but somebody has taken the eggs repeatedly, so they're not there.
I think
'cause-
we ended up being just one short.
Didn't they return them?
Public Works found them, I don't remember now, but they did
They're
turn
gonna
back
just
up.
start showing up random places around town.
We can think about
Which-
putting them somewhere in a way that,
Could we?
I don't know what we
Is there
would
anything we
do.
can drill it to or something?
but they need to be able to flip it over to see.
Try it to a cinder block.
I mean, I think it's fine. I just gotta make sure I go around every couple days,
And it is what it is, some go
And-
missing.
see if they're there or not, and I'm gonna make more this year out of a thinner
Yeah, I mean, I envisioned it maybe,
material,
those are really heavy, but like if they were on a stake, you put the stake in the ground
Oh, yeah.
with the egg on
but,
top.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I just know the ones that we have now are pretty heavy.
The problem with that would be like the park by our house,
Jennifer.
like,
I think
it's got the artificial surface throughout
So you
most of
zip
it,
tie it to
so
the
it would
playground.
be.
Zip tie it to the
Yeah,
playground
stuff
high
like-
enough that you could see it on both sides. Only if somebody's got a pair of scissors or a very sharp knife can you get a zip tie off.
Yeah.
Does it need to be 2-sided? Couldn't it just have the letter on the one side? They found the egg. Like,
We
did they need to-
decorated the front side of them
Oh,
and
okay.
then
Oh, because we'll
put
change the letters.
on
I get
the
it. Okay.
back side. Yeah, and I stuck them on with clear tape so that we could swap out the letters.
Yeah. I would just hate for someone to do the scavenger hunt like last year and the eggs aren't there.
Yeah.
And it feels like if we don't secure them, it's almost guaranteed that someone's going to move it or take it at some point. And then I don't want you to have the whole weekend be going back to the parks to make sure the eggs are there.
Sure.
If we can just secure it somehow.
I'm sure we could zip tie it somewhere.
Well,
You put a
I
hole in it.
feel like you were saying, zip ties is just gonna encourage people to take them.
No, no. A sign saying "Don't take this" is going to do that. Zip ties, they have to bring scissors.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
I mean, we
zip ties
can't
are-
make it impossible. We can't put it in cement. So but if it's not just loose,
I don't know if I meant like little kids from just kind of taking it because they just see something.
yeah, and some of
Like,
them
not
might be
like-
innocent. Yeah,
You don't mean to
just
take it,
wandering.
it's just-
Oh, an egg.
If
Look at us
some of
take
them
it.
came back, I have a feeling they were not taken out of malice.
Yeah.
It could have been somebody that didn't even know about the scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we can put that in your email. And we can look at specific parks once we figure out which parks we want to use and try to figure out a way that we can secure the egg better. But that means that I probably will need help.
I say we put one down at the end of the linear trail, all the way at the end, so you have to walk 2 miles to get to it.
No.
I do think is zip ties or staking it, or a mix of
Yeah.
that would. We can't make it impossible. I think that would make it where it's more likely they're going to stay. That's what I think.
I think zip ties would work best because trying to stake it, because the
Staking eggs.
goal was to hide it around the
Mhm.
play equipment and stuff and.
Yeah, zip ties would work. That's easy.
Zip ties, yeah, I think would be the
Costs nothing.
better way to go. The only problem with that is I gotta put a hole through it, so now I gotta re-epoxy
Yeah.
the stuff because it's not water-friendly material.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Disintegrate pretty quickly if I just put a hole in
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll
Oh,
find
I
some
thought
ways.
you were
Yeah.
attaching the eggs to like a paint stick, because then we could just zip tie the paint stick and then the egg is at the top on either side. And if you epoxy it or Gorilla Glue, that's not coming off either.
Yeah.
These are all.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I'll figure it
brainstorm it.
out.
Let's do
it's not a
something.
Not a huge deal.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
definitely figure it out.
Okay.
What's next,
Also, I
Mr.
bought
Alex?
300,000
So-
zip ties this winter for Christmas.
The next thing on the list is Gatehouse Museum collaboration.
That was my thing.
That's you.
I got an email from the new curator of the Gatehouse Museum. They want to meet with us to talk about future collaboration with the Gatehouse and SPARC. At first, they want to know the future of SPARC and the direction that we are headed. Like what our grand plan is, I suppose, for the next couple weeks. Like now that we're a commission, where do we go from here?
That's a good question.
That is a good question that I don't know how to answer. And then like,
Oh,
Well, I mean, I think your first focus is just to, what you do well, do better.
better.
And what you guys do well is movies and concerts. And you're brainstorming on how to make those better with activities and
Yeah.
themes. And so, I mean, I think I think when we try to get further out from what you're already good at is where it gets a little scattered.
yeah.
Yes.
And I think what you do well, do better.
Mhm.
It's,
and I think like our big goal is to partner with other groups and companies.
Okay.
So,
So they want to know how the Gatehouse can help with our events, and then went into like bigger ideas like combining the Gatehouse Museum with SPARC and basing SPARC out of the Gatehouse because Millard Cooper, it's in Millard Cooper, and Millard Cooper is like our, what is it called? Flagship park,
Yeah.
like our main park. And so we would, I don't know what they mean exactly by basing us out of Gatehouse Museum.
I mean, it
Have
kind
you
of
heard
makes
about
sense in a way, because when I think about like the National Park Service and they have like historical buildings, like, like historical sites, so maybe there's.
I think what would be good would be to invite her to a meeting
Yeah.
and then we can.
Well, they
talk
said
about it.
that they
Thriller.
wouldn't often be available for our 7 o'clock meetings, so they wanted to meet on Gatehouse Museum time, which would be
is-
Mondays and Fridays, 4:30 to 6:30, Wednesdays, 9:30 to 1:30, or Sundays at 12 to 6. I could probably meet with them on a Sunday. I just need to know what to talk about, because I don't know how to.
Yeah, one thing we could partner with them, I mean, each park that we have has some history to it. When you look at South Branch, there's a ton of history there. Even Jones Park, I mean, does anybody know why it's Jones Park?
No.
It's the sisters that took historically took some of the oldest pictures of Sykesville. There's, I mean, each beach park, there's a reason, there's names, but it'd be nice if there were a plaque or some way to, in each of these parks to advertise the history of the parks.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful idea.
Just a
Have a
thought.
wayfinding sign thing that explains
Mhm.
why.
That's a great idea.
That is a cool idea.
I like that.
You know all about that.
And then, of course, participating in the events that we have at Millard Cooper Park, however they want to do it. They can just open the museum during our events, or they can do an activity like you guys do.
Did they mention if they'd be willing to stay open later for the movies?
No, but I could talk about that.
Well, because you see Saturdays and even one of their normal days at the road.
That's true, yeah.
But if they were open on Saturdays during our events, like, could they find history about any of our stories, or they could do a talk about history of one of the parks and have a little station set up and let kids touch things and learn about things, a rotary phone, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would go with Toy Story. This isn't a phone in
Talk
Toy
about the
Story.
history of Wally.
So, I'll meet with them. I'll set up a Sunday.
Let me
With
know,
them.
I'll go with you.
Yeah, you
If you
come too.
want, if you
Sure.
want company, I'll go with you.
Yeah, I
That'd be
think
fine.
the best way to pair with them is to advertise during events that we're already
Yeah.
doing.
Do we want to have a lengthier brainstorming session about this, or should we meet with them as soon as possible?
I would say,
Because I like Billy's idea, and if there's more ideas
I
like
like
that,
Billy's
that
idea
would be
a
cool.
lot.
I think maybe go and meet with them and then come back.
See what they have in mind.
Report to the commission that you
Yeah.
guys can talk about it.
Something
Okay.
we wanna do.
yeah.
I'd like to join you as well.
Oh, you want to
Oh,
come?
good,
Okay.
good.
If it's a Sunday, I can be there too.
Yay.
So find out the Sunday, send it out to see if we can make it, and then we'll
Okay.
report back in March.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Is that enough time for
Mhm.
everybody?
A Sunday in
Eric,
March.
you get a pass because it's.
Yeah, I won't be
Sunday.
available.
That's
It's the only day at work.
You're right.
Alright, and then the next thing on the list is band selection.
And me again. I got 2 bands confirmed. I asked 3. I did ask Here Till Sunday. I asked them to play on the 24th, but they have not responded. But they played for us 2 years in the past.
I think the last 2 years, yeah.
Or yeah, that's what I mean, the last 2 years. So hopefully they'll say yes again. I got I swapped them. I got Liberty Road on October 1st, and then this new band, I don't think's ever played with us, called 4 on the Floor.
4 on the.
4 on the Floor, which is a,
Like the number 4.
yes, it's a drumming reference. They're gonna play September 10th during the movie.
Oh, nice.
So hopefully I'll definitely have those 2, Liberty Road and 4 on the Floor. They're definitely playing Here Till Sunday, hopefully, but not confirmed, on the 24th, and then that still leaves the 17th, and I just thought of this today, I have not checked in with Joey D. Cares.
Oh, he'll do it.
He'll
You
do
want me to
it. Do you think?
contact him?
Because it's been a while since he has, but if he could.
Oh, it's because of COVID. You
Yeah.
want to email
Do you
him?
want to?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
I can do it.
And then that would be 4.
That's a good point. What is our current policy regarding COVID?
I don't think there is one anymore. Not for outdoor
So we're
activities.
Yeah, everything's open.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we're,
For the state and
Alright.
county.
We don't have any boxes.
Oh, thank God. So I guess I'll give Here Till Sunday a week or so to respond. And then I'll try finding someone else if they don't respond.
So it'd be nice if we knew if we could offer school or not.
Yeah, that might help. Well, when I go around trying to get sponsors for movies, once we hit our quota, then I can start
What's the date for Joey?
offering sponsorships for concerts.
They could do September 17th.
That's better for them.
We'll just
because then
need
we
to
do
update
together
the
longer.
form for the
Okay.
concerts.
Okay.
But if Here Till Sunday doesn't respond, they could have the 24th of September.
Okay.
So
So do you,
let them know that that's a potential option, I guess.
okay, okay, so first choice and then possible second choice.
Yeah.
What if they can only do the 24th? Can they till Sunday do the 17th, or they could only?
I'll ask the other band if they can change,
Okay,
but if not, I guess I'll give it to the other band.
okay. All right, I'll email him tomorrow.
Do we want to do flyers again for the movies or for like all the SPARC events?
you should.
Because it would be better to get them sooner and then I can drop them off when I'm going around town. Instead of like 2 years ago when we ended up with like 300 flyers that just sat in a cabinet here until like almost half the events were done and then I took them around.
Yeah.
Put together a flyer.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And I did that.
I mean, if you can create it, I can print them.
Yep, we can make it.
And then I can distribute them walking around, getting sponsors, and so it'll be easy enough.
And the last thing on is water bottles, but while we're still talking about events, I did want to talk about the skateboarding competition real quick, the conversation I had, that's okay.
Say it again, I'm sorry, the what?
Skateboarding competition.
Oh, yeah.
So a few weeks ago, I had a really great discussion with Jason, who owns Shrimptown Skate Shop. And he was so excited about the idea. Apparently they've been wanting to do it for a few years. And he said that like they're more than willing to help with anything we need, especially with planning and volunteers like judges, because I told him I know nothing about skateboarding. I don't think anybody in SPARC knows anything about skateboarding, so we need volunteers for judges especially. He had lots of ideas for the format of events, but I did say that it's going to have to be a one-day event, probably no longer than 6 hours, just being realistic because we're still going to need volunteers on our end. So, I mean, obviously this would not happen this year. So it would be something that we'd be thinking about for next year, maybe June. But is this something that SPARC and the town supports before I try to do any more planning with it?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I support it.
So,
Why can't we do it this year? It's too much work to pull it together.
yeah, it would be too much to pull together for the spring and summer. I think there's not enough time, and then our fall is so booked.
Okay.
Okay, so my next steps, I'll put together a more detailed plan and budget, but I think it should be low, because if we get volunteers, really the only expense that I'm thinking of is sound system rental. We're gonna need that.
Yeah.
So,
We have a sound system.
We could use the sound system from the movie setup. All we need is a mic.
That's true.
Like that.
It should be powerful enough, right,
Yeah, and then
Go
some
over
way to
skateboard.
hook up if we need music or something.
We have a portable sound system.
okay, well, it should be
That's plenty
put on
of
this
enough.
event.
Didn't you say they were willing to like offer up prizes
Yeah.
for it too?
Sweet.
But yeah, I think it's a really great opportunity to pair with one of our local businesses, which I'm all for.
So the last thing on the list is water bottles.
Yep, so did you guys still want to sell water bottles? Okay, so I called Shannon Baum and got estimates from them. They're really expensive. But Joe was okay with the price, except for the one he said is almost identical to the one that the DSC has. So we kind of scratched that. But then I got this magazine in the mail from 4 Imprints, which I think is a place that a lot of people use. And there's lots of bottle choices in here. I don't know if you guys want to pick one out. Joe and I were kind of leaning towards this orange one right here.
Oh, I was thinking green.
Well, it had to be that green, the style.
Oh.
Sorry, yeah, you have all these choices down here, and there's green in there.
So we're leaving them?
But that style is what we were thinking.
And how much are they? And do we get a discount if we order 100?
Yeah, so it breaks down, 144 is $4.15 a bottle.
Sweet.
The cheap one, the less expensive one on here was $10.50 a bottle.
That's steep for us.
And of course, there's more expensive ones, there's less expensive ones. We were trying to pick one that was kind of has a very similar look to this. We like the one with the hook if people wanted to hook it,
Yeah.
versus this one with just the screw lid. If you guys, once we end the meeting, if you guys, I can leave this out, you guys can look at it. If you have other suggestions, you can let me know. It looks like the turnaround time is pretty quick,
Good.
so we'll take some time, let you guys look at it, and if you like that, then we can go with that.
Where are we with the refillable station?
Joe's got Derek checking into that.
Great.
We're looking to see if we can't change our water fountain into, rather than installing something completely different.
Super.
Just changing what the water fountain that's existing into a refillable station.
That's a great idea.
So I need to follow up with Joe on that.
Okay.
Are you selling those at cost, or are you trying to make a profit off of them?
This is your purchase, I mean, it's up to you guys how you, I wouldn't think you would want to sell them much more than what they are.
6%.
I think you just want to cover your costs maybe,
Right.
you know, I mean, it's to encourage people to use,
$4.55
Usable.
then,
Yeah.
just to make it
Yeah.
easy.
Can we put that on the agenda for the next meeting?
to just
Yeah.
follow up, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
And figure out a price and how many we should order.
Well, Joe and I were thinking 100.
That's what I was thinking.
The breakdown here is, it's 72 to 144, so we probably would do the 144.
Perfect.
$4.50 a bottle, I think is pretty reasonable.
Yep.
I mean, the ones that are less than that are like plastic, so I don't think we want to do that. So I feel like that's,
Definitely.
And we can get our SPARC logo on
Yep.
that? Does that charge extra, or that's included in the water bottle?
Typically, there's like an imprint fee, it would be like $40.
I don't think
for
it's
the whole thing.
probably minimal. I mean, I wouldn't worry about that. I mean, we're
Okay.
gonna put it into the budget, so I mean,
Great.
it's fine.
Okay, great.
So,
That's terrific.
but you guys can look at this after the meeting.
Okay.
Then I just had a couple of updates. We're in the process of doing a request for proposals for Cooper Park. In order for the splash pad to be finalized and ready to go, we had to do some ADA sidewalks coming down to it. So we're getting, the proposals are due March 3rd. We had a pre-bid meeting today. One contractor came who did the original sidewalks over there that were done a few years ago.
Great.
So we'll see what happens with that. We are looking at doing all the upgrades to the snack shack. We were going to start off by painting the inside of the bathrooms. Public Works ran into a little bit of a glitch, like the paint wasn't adhering for some reason, so they're doing some recon on that to figure out what's going on with that. They probably would be the ones to power wash and paint the outside.
Great.
We went and did a site visit to the inside. I didn't think it looked that bad. It's just kind of dirty.
That's all it ever is.
The paint, the walls themselves look like they were in good condition. So we may have Public Works go in there with a shop vac in the spring and kind of try and clean it up as best they can.
That'd be great.
And then we got to get the roof and what is the underpart called?
Soffit.
Soffits replaced.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to have all that done this spring. Willing everything goes well, the splash pad will open into May.
Great.
But we had to get those sidewalks in first, and there also has to be a wall installed behind the wall around the splash pad. That's a health department requirement. So we're in the process of ordering that and getting that installed. So
What is
we're,
the purpose of that?
because they're worried about kids falling down from the upper part
Oh,
into the splash pad.
okay,
So they wanted a barrier.
okay,
So
to save bodies. Okay.
And I mean, I was kind of like you, I'm like, what for? And then I went out there and looked, I'm like, oh yeah, it is kind of steep there. So
Perfect.
fingers crossed that we open in May.
I imagine it's gonna be an issue with the ADA sidewalk because it's 10-to-1 slope, so you gotta.
It's already been engineered out. The engineered drawings are out with the scope of services to the contractors. So it's already planned and,
All that's done, you just gotta find somebody to build it.
So in the fall, we talked about Jones Park a little bit, thought that might be a spring project with
oh, so the
painting
cleanup.
swing sets and new mulch and such. Is there any new word there, or is that
You know.
next meeting we can talk about?
Well, all I need to do is bring that up to Derek and see if that's on their radar for the spring. I had forgotten about it till you just mentioned it, so
Okay.
I will touch base with staff at our next meeting and see what the plan is for that.
Because could we do that for April, for Earth Day, and clean it?
Well, I think what he's talking about is beyond you guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not painting that swing set
No,
again.
not again.
No, that was hard.
I think we talked about the swing set, some trimming of trees and
Mulching.
And the mulch.
There's
And the mulching, but
some of the
it-
equipment's broken too.
Like on
Like,
the
it was like
linear
missing-
trail, we had talked about,
Well, we're talking about
Fixing
Jones.
the-
what was
Jones
broken,
Park.
Alex?
It was, like, there was like holes where like something was supposed to be, but there wasn't.
At
I think there's
Jones?
like 3, yeah. I should have taken a picture of it.
I don't know what that is, but let's,
We just need W40 in the swings. Because the swings are really, really squeaky, and I feel bad for the people that live in front, because their dogs go crazy, so. Huh, what was broken? Trying to think what's there that,
Yeah, I don't know what
It
that
was
would
like,
be.
I think it was like 3 things that were like supposed to be the original, and I don't know, like, sit on it, but like there was.
Because there was holes in the
Yeah.
artificial.
Yeah, like there's supposed to be something.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know
I will
that
check
either.
with Jared.
There
We
was,
played there
yeah,
a lot.
like 3 circles in the artificial.
When we take walks, we walk up.
Stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fun
I'll check
playground.
on it. But when they're going by there, but
Your kids would love that playground, it's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, yeah.
we had talked about fixing the linear trail equipment.
That, we're already working on that, that's a grant,
Okay.
Yeah, that was discussed last meeting.
yeah.
Okay.
That's
So
all I had.
I think that's it then.
Yay.
Okay. So I motion to end the meeting at 8:08.
Our second.
All those in favor?
What if somebody just
Good.
moved